Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm so sure this morning we were shocked by the market. Just wanted to share with you, what happened and some of the insight where the stock that you see on the screen and kind of tell you about. Well, if you did buy these stock or own these stock, what your next step now since you see what happening, this morning. So market has experienced a serious sell-off yesterday morning. Well, because right now it's after midnight. So I'm talking about yesterday, which is Monday, which is Tuesday, 23rd. Despite Hansen Index and Japan Nikkei with some of the UK reporting data were favorable. Bitcoin tumbled from record highs of over $58,000 to 47,800. Tesla was one of the stock dropped 8.5% along with NIO. NIO has dropped over 17% from previous close of $50.70 to as low as $41.66. S&P 500 snapped a 5-day losing streak. Tech stopped pair losses but still declined as Fed Powell eases concerns over runaway inflation. Amazon.com, AMZN, Alphabet, GOG, and Facebook FB were higher. Powell also added the falling COVID-19 cases count and vaccine rollout over hope for return to more normal conditions later this year. This kind of calmed the market down, and that's probably why there was some interest of buying in and have the support level. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 0.4%. 0.04%, but Nasdaq still down by 0.5%, ending 13,465.20. Energy and communication stock rose the most. Square stock fell 5% late. Square stock retreated 4.3% Tuesday after rebounding from its 50-day line. EV delivery van maker Workhorse Group, which is symbol WKHS, lost a major USP vehicle contract to Oshiko Corporation, symbol OSH. Workhorse stock cratered 47%, then kept falling sharply overnight. Gold dipped and WTI oil price reached $63 a barrel yesterday. Oil inventory unexpected rise by 1.026 million barrels. The good news is that I guess the market rebound after clarification by Powell to restore confidence in buying activities. So that means at least the market is still a support level, and it was great that rebounded, because if you keep going down, then you could be kind of worried about what the correction level going to be. Given that the market kind of have rallied and do pretty well in since beginning of 2021. Biden stimulus also, if passed the week, you should stimulate more consumer spending, and maybe one will be one of the catalysts to push the market higher. I mean, obviously the market is looking for catalysts to climb higher. Otherwise, you could be either flat or you probably dip a little bit with volatility. So I'd like to take this opportunity and give you update a few stocks discussed before with what has experienced yesterday. I think now you understand better what I mean by profit takings and buy at a dip, and why I have taught it. If for those of you who listen to my video in the past, I always say timing does matter. So I don't know what fund managers saying long-term view, whatever, don't time the market, blah blah blah. But I just don't think that is the answer of it. So here's the list, and I do want to go over that in the previous video, or for those which is yesterday video for the recap. For those who watch specifically for bowling, you should still having a gain of approximately 10%. I said the company has reached a bottom. If you watch that bowling video particularly, assuming that there's no major event causing the problem. However, there's a report on Jet 787 engine of fire related issue. So though the investigation may probably find no issue, I think it's a good time to sell and buy back when there's a more clear picture about the outcome of the investigations. And I think the United Airlines, if I'm not mistaken, now banned 777 to fly. So that will definitely, will impact, at least perceptually, if not financially, on on bowling stock. And And then the next one we'll talk about regarding to NIO. The stock has dropped from February 10th, $60 falling to $41 intraday yesterday. There was no news as to expand it until Tesla was also got a hit over last few days for 20%. This is driven by news that competitor company called Lucy Motors has confirmed going through SPAC raise funds to go public. So this is considered as one of the competitors doing similar EV for Tesla and NIO. So that's how NIO got hit. Though earning will be reported as loss for NIO, kind of expected. The future plan should still drive the growth and potential of this stock. If the stock rebound from 200 days from a technical perspective, there should be more upside after the consolidation. I'm saying that what? Then regarding the XPEV, the stock also slipped from February 10 intraday high $51.19 to yesterday $32 lowest, and you rebounded to ending the day of 30 close to $38, which is the day before. It was rebounded from the low, showing there's a support to pull the stock up. This was due to reissues of stocks again. So first time they did it probably in November, actually in January, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this year. Then they did the price around $45, and this time the second issues, they actually doing it at between $33 and $35. So that kind of a lot of time the market normally will slip and reflect the price of this issue of stocks, because there shouldn't be a really big gap between the two. The company has delivered January vehicle on track, and different than NIO. The IPO price was $17. So NIO was $2. This one is 17. So I just want to make give you a few facts. So if it only went up to 4x, right? Even when you hit a record high of $74 last year, you're still thinking it's not way out of wages, if you ask me. So now with dropping deeper to 38, obviously, you just almost like only give you double, right? So a lot of time when I look at this kind of stock, I look at the record high. I'm not looking at where you started at, because some penny stock, as you know, go 20 times, 50 times, and they're really never going back, right? So from that perspective, you take a record high, you ask yourself, and also the correction, when we talking about correction, the anticipation is not saying a stock which have record high, like I'm just making it up, okay? That's not happening right now. In Zoom, for example, $580 of record high. Well, it's not going to drop to $100, If it is, then I think the market really, not called correction, is crash. So your correction could be 25% to 40%, which apparently, Zoom have been in the corrective zone. So in this case, right, $380 again. But you could have tested another lower level. So if you're looking at that explanation I just given to you, Xpeng has been $174. Let's take $50 discount divide by 2, you get 37, which is exactly where. So personally, I think this stock, if you look at long-term range, and we know that this is not faking, right? I mean, like 5G, I don't know 5G network if it really all established in America or China or what happened, but definitely this car 2025, they go to have these car for Europe running, China 20 to 25%. We'll see. As long as they can do a scalability, be able to build these, vehicle to meet the demands back at that time. Well, that definitely the stock will be, definitely bullish and definitely worth more than $37. So I still like the P7 Caesars car very much. And again, the profitability, like I just talked about earlier, is scalability, right? Because manufacturing, that's how it is. Build one item is so super expensive, overhead and everything, but if you make million of them, that's how you become the unit cost so cheap that then you start to be profitable. And from a technical perspective, the stock has a W formation on Xpeng. So you may be very likely that now we've given you $33 to $35 price of the second issuance. Looking at the W formation, a technical perspective, you may as well hitting the bottom already, and you break out the 200 days average, and so on. Once you break the 200 days average, it's going to go upward. You may go back to the previous level where it's around $45 and $52 and so on. So if you believe the EV is the future, I think this stock you will hold. Actually, I will recommend to buy more at this price right now. Okay, and then facing on the reopening soon, travel and leisure stock, despite yesterday's sell off, they're still very solid. So therefore, if you look at the stock I talk about and recommended on my video to buy, CCL still very solid, MGM still very solid with DraftKings, and so these two, I would say, you own them, you don't need to sell them, don't worry about profit taking, sell off, hold it for long term. CCL really, my target price still, in my opinion, $40. MGM is also $40 plus. So they still have quite a room to go. Baidu, I'm actually thinking when I tell people to buy, it was at $230 to $242 range. Well, if you think about it now, it's 300. Even with today's sell up, it's still at 310, and you got rebound back to 322. Maybe tomorrow will go back up, or maybe it go down $10 to be 310. Definitely above $300. It is a really good profit, and I really think it's time to sell it and buy back later. So that's my advice to you. I mean, it is important to take some profit. Otherwise, the number can be $zillion, doesn't matter. But the market can change so quickly that you're not getting any money in your pocket. Then the other one, JUVA has some pullback, so this one will be closely monitoring it. You actually have pullback before. It was at $1.61 and dropped back to $1.30 level. So right now, it wasn't surprised to me that yesterday sell off, you pull back. So I still look, and this one you have to closely monitor. And if you buy it, you do a stop loss, probably 10%, 15%. And my target is still $3 on that one, so nothing really changing the target price, but it's just a matter of how long you take it, when it's going to be there, because I think it's really a good deal. Bilibili, my favorite, now back to $120 level. I will hold. I'm not selling because I like it. So it's up to you if you think this is a good stock to buy. I do have to tell you, remember, $40 was the time the price was. So you technically, if you have got $40 and bought a Billy, you get 300% return. This one is a big one. I don't know if you really will go to $200. They are not making money today, okay? And Pinduoduo, I will hold it for long term. If it's tip back, which it did, 100. I think yesterday sell off was up to $180. So I will scale back around, $170. You see my purchase price $168, right? So around that range, I will buy and hold. My target price still $300 on this one. We'll see November 11. Another round of quick sales. At that time, your Pinduoduo will be very well positioned in the growth of the grocery, the vegetable grocery space. Then we covered bowling already. Baba, this one. Well, the Chinese market, I seen it today, has been pulling back, at least in Hong Kong stock market, a little bit in the Shanghai and Shenzhen stock market. So you could probably can wait a little bit. Since this one hasn't grown really that much, it was from 319 dropped to 210, 15 lowest, and now it bounced back 267 and pull it back again 250-ish. It probably a chance that will pull back another $7, $10. So I still think if around $240 level, you're probably good to buy. And I know there's a lot of institutional investors holding this one. This one has a lot of big potential, but you may take a while now, to get back to $300. So I have, and I do want to give you a couple of stocks that consider to buy in case I didn't talk about it. BIGC. So BIGC has reported earnings, and year to comparison, the company has double-digit growth, which is amazing. It is doing the e-commerce, which is a competitor of Shopify, and I said the price is much cheaper than Shopify and Amazon. So this one actually have formed V-shape sometimes, quite a few times, which they call reversal. So right now they're at around 60. I would say buying around $60. You may have to wait for 3 months, which is next quarter earning, but you probably will hit about $80. So that is 20 is really good return, right? If you hit about $80, $78. And then the next stock I would say is Fastly, FSLY symbol. This one also have announced earning, and he actually did pretty decent. Even though I mean the stock is still at a loss, but the loss has been much less. The stock, when they were at high, they actually what has $136.50. So right now it's trading around 70-ish. I will probably do a video about fasting, give a little bit more into it, so stay tuned for that one. And BIGC, just to let you know, the 1 year high was 162.50. So right now it's at 60, and I know yesterday's sell off was as low as $53. So it definitely will be a really, from a standpoint, you already corrected and crashed 50% discount. So something to think about, right? If not fundamental perspective, is the technical perspective that you will look into and study and say whether that the stock is good and probably close to the entry point that you can buy in. I hope you like my video. I hope I give you a 2 cents. I do help you trying to understanding what's going on with the market, the insight. I give you updates on these stock. I recommend it, and we're with kind of specific, and also get you to knowing that higher the risk, the higher the return. The market does have risk, but apparently Bitcoin seems to be a little crazy and even more more risky if you think about it. $58,000 now, dropped to 44,000 yesterday, and on something now you're back to close to 50,000 again. Have a nice and wonderful day. I hope the market will have a support point. It will go back up and hit another record high, and so everybody's still happy and waiting for Biden's stimulus plan to continue to having the market recovery and more job creation. Thank you.